guys, so today I'm going to be doing my September wrap-up video, and for the month of September I actually did go back and I decided to do a themes month, and that theme was Scandalous September. I devoted Scandalous September to banned readings week. Banned books just have such a bad rep and I wanted to like celebrate them, so I decided to devote my entire month to reading them, with a few exceptions. Alright, so I really don't have too much else to say, so let's go ahead and get on into it. So the first book that I ended up picking up during Scandalous September was not a banned book at all. Not even a little bit, though I will say it has caused quite a bit of controversy since it came out and since people have been reading it. I will admit that. So it kind of fits on the spectrum and I'm just gonna go with it. That book is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series. It's an epic fantasy, follows a young woman named Selena Sardothian, and she is a kick-ass assassin. I can't say too much without spoiling things, but if you read the third book, you get to know a lot about Selena's past, and in this book you kind of get to go past that. You get to move forward. You get to experience her with her new found information. Again, I really can't say too much, but it was interesting and I really enjoyed this book. I know a lot of people hate it because of some events that happened in it, and I completely understand. I do. While I did enjoy this book very much, and I think I rated it 4.5 or 5 out of 5 stars, I do understand the problems that people are having and I completely sympathize with them because I saw it as well. While I sympathize, while I understand the problems with this book, I personally quite enjoyed it. So yes, 5 out of 5 stars, would recommend. The next book that I read for Scandalous September is Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. This was actually a banned book on my original September TBR, and I was quite pleased to finally read it. This book follows a man whose name we don't actually know. He's simply known as just the narrator, and he is a very screwed up individual. He attends groups such as like cancer survivor groups and Alcoholics Anonymous, stuff like that, but he's neither a cancer survivor nor an alcoholic. So he just goes to these meetings because for him it provides a release, which, you know, he's not hurting anyone. Yeah, he's lying to people, but you know, you do you, boo. A little further into the story, the narrator befriends a man named Tyler Durden, and from there, he and Tyler form Fight Club, which is what you would expect. It is a club where men of all ages can come and beat the crap out of each other. This book is completely satire, and it was very humorous to read, and I will say that this is my first Chuck Palahniuk book. I've never read him before, and he has a very unique writing style that I had heard about, but I had to read it myself to know because it's really hard to describe, and there were a lot of quotes in here that I loved so much. The first one is, "Sometimes you just need to destroy something beautiful," and the second one is, "If you know where to look, there are bodies everywhere." Because I'm a creepy mofo, those just kind of stood out to me, and the whole book was really quotable, and I always love that. When I find a book like that, I love it. So yes, I loved Fight Club. I gave it like 4.5 or 5 stars out of 5. Did not find a whole lot wrong with it except for the fact that it was a little too short, so yeah. The next book that I picked up for Scandalous September was actually a reread for me, and it was The Rules of Attraction by Bret Easton Ellis. Yeah, I'm gonna answer you whenever you have no caller ID. That's gonna happen. I thought I put it on silent, but clearly I did not. This book follows a group of people who are all attending a liberal arts college in the 1980s Reagan era. It's written in a really like raw, visceral type of style. It's a first-person narrative, and it's told in the perspectives of about 4 to 5 different characters, and they all just live a really kind of sad existence. I guess it's kind of what college is for a lot of people. You have sex, you do drugs, you're lonely, you're kind of miserable, but you try to fill the void through that. When I was 16, 17, I read this and I was like, oh, this is my Bible, this is my everything. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and since then I bumped it down to 4 stars, not because I don't like it, but because I found new things about it that I liked and didn't like. And I will say that one of the things that turned me off about this book is that I felt like every female character was kind of the same. You were either the attractive blonde or the dumpy brunette, and I felt like his characters were all very similar, and it kind of got to the point where it was like, okay, I gotta flip back, who am I reading again? Overall, I ended up giving The Rules of Attraction 4 out of 5 stars. As I mentioned, there were some things that I found that I didn't like about it as much, but I still have a passion for this book and for this story, and I still really enjoy it as much as you can enjoy a story as twisted as this. I'm glad that I reread it, and it's definitely one that I'll reread in the future. The next book that I read in Scandalous September is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This book follows a young man named Dorian Gray. Dorian meets a man who introduces him to a world of debauchery and scandal and all the things that he's always been interested in and intrigued by but never delved into. So this chronicles his story, delving into that, going into that, falling into that, and ultimately having it ruin him. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason that I took down half a star is because there were some drawn on passages, some long passages, and it just kind of got to the point where it was like, okay. But overall, the prose was beautiful, and I could only knock down half a star for it because it was lovely. Okay, so the next 2 books that I was supposed to read in Scandalous September was Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll and then Forever by Judy Blume. I have read Alice in Wonderland, so I didn't feel too bad not reading it, but I did feel bad about Forever by Judy Blume. But I ended up getting a couple of books in the mail, and I'm gonna just show you what those are because I'm pretty sure that you're gonna understand and forgive me once you see what they are. The first is Orphan Black, a graphic novel adaptation of the TV show by the same name. For those of you who aren't familiar with Orphan Black, it follows a young woman named Sarah Manning who quickly discovers that she is a clone. I'm not gonna say too much about it because, again, it stems from a TV show, and if you haven't watched the TV show, you probably shouldn't read this. But if you have read the TV show, this is a great addition because it shows you the different characters in Sarah's life and the different clones and what they were going through during the time of the first season of Orphan Black. And it was interesting to see their perspectives and their histories and to learn some things that you may not necessarily have known. I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars because I did really enjoy getting to know more about the different characters. I really wanted like some new material, and I know it's kind of hard to do that because the graphic novel series can't really go past the television series, but I just wanted like a little bit of something, like a little hint of what we're in store for in season 4. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. And the next book that I got, you guys are definitely getting a sneak peek of my September book haul, but yeah, the next book that I got is one that I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna know what it is. It's another graphic novel. You may have heard of it before. It's called Saga, and yes, this is Saga Volume 5. It's by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I can't say too much about this series if you haven't read it. What I will say is that it follows 2 star-crossed lovers from different galaxies, and they fall in love, they have a baby, and they're on the run from all these people that are trying to destroy them. It's just so good, and you should read it. There's a reason why it is so popular. But I will say it's definitely an adult graphic novel series. A lot of sexual material, language, drugs, etc. So if you're not old enough to handle that material, you might want to like hold off on it until you are. But yeah, I actually haven't finished this yet, but I'm definitely going to be finishing it tonight. So I wanted to go ahead and include it in my September wrap-up video, and I will tell you right now, my friends, I love it. I love it. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. In the comments below, I would really love for you guys to let me know if you've read any of these books, and if you did, what you thought of them. Did you like them? Did you not like them so much? Any of those things that you know I want to know, share them with me because I want to know. Also, if there are any banned books that you guys have read this month, I would really like to know that as well. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.